Hey guys, Anthony here with another episode of The Bloody Point. Today, some gameplay from Gloria Victis. Gloria Victis, as you probably know, recently went to Steam release 2 weeks ago on January 7th. It has been in early access, however, for a very long time, 7 years, give or take. Many of us played it during that time or bought it and forgot we had it, but now it is in release. Population has increased dramatically, tenfold from the pre-release numbers. We hit a recent high of 4.2k concurrent, which is very respectable. So Gloria Victis is an MMO. It is a full loot PvP MMO with territory control. The full loot has various rules which limit what you can lose, which is very important in this kind of game. You know, there aren't a lot of PvP games with looting, and to keep those games populated, you have to mitigate the loss somewhat, and Gloria Victis has found a balanced way to do that. The game is currently suffering some DDoS attacks, sadly, so if you are just starting today or yesterday, you'll be noticing that it was not like that for the past 2 weeks. Performance has actually been very good, but hopefully they'll get that sorted out soon. Now, territory control, as I mentioned, there are also guild ownership of assets, so you can own a keep, a castle, even an island. That is not active at the moment. It will be turned on as development goes on. There are a lot of features which were active in pre-release or in early access which have been disabled, and others, of course, which are planned for the future. So the game is using a directional combat and directional block system similar to Mount and Blade or Mordhau. There's also mounted combat also similar to Mount and Blade. The mounted combat is actually quite good. The character progression includes specializing or speccing into particular weapon types and related abilities, including mounted archery or mounted melee. The combat takes a little getting used to. You know, some can consider it janky, and I suppose that's a fair assessment. However, once you do get practice with it, you can be quite precise, and it definitely rewards skill. There are a lot of mechanics involving, stamina usage and shield durability and so on. For example, you'll see a number in the middle of my screen between my health and stat bars representing my shield. If I block too often, that number will go down and eventually my shield will break, and I will not be able to block. I would only be able to parry or chamber with my weapon. So, as I mentioned, the game does have territory control. There's no, personal housing per se. You can place individual items. You can place crafting stations in the world in certain areas, so that does exist. You can also place a vendor stall. You can do that right in the middle of the capital if you like. Very cool system there. As I mentioned, the game is currently having issues with DDoSing, but the population has been very good. One of the things Gloria Victis does well is large-scale sieges. You know, we're talking about 100 more people in a single siege, and with this type of combat system, it can get quite ridiculous and extremely fun. The stakes are even higher when you own the thing as a guild, and those are pretty epic. So this particular footage that you're going to see is mainly me running around as part of an overall siege force, doing the things I usually do, fighting at the flanks and in an advanced position. Here I've gone forward to this particular smaller capture point before the castle. You'll see that I'm going to finish this guy off. So I've killed 2 people here. I haven't captured it, but I've put it into the contested status, which is important. I'm going to duck out of this here because people are spawning here, and I'm not going to press my luck. I've done what I needed to do. I've delayed the forces here, pinned them, shall we say, and I'm going to go join the rest of my force. The gameplay is It's really, really satisfying once you get good at the melee combat or archery or whatever your particular combat style involves. You know, there's also throwing weapons, as you can see in the icon at the middle lower part of the screen above my status bars. When I'm holding a melee weapon, such as a spear or an axe, it'll give you an ammo count. You can actually throw those. There's healing as well. You can specialize into that through the perks tree. And there is no magic, however, which is actually interesting. You know, games like this typically involve magic, you know, fantasy games. In this particular case, you can see I noticed off to the side that this guy was 1v2ing, so I just put in some somewhat inaccurate range fire on these guys just to let the hostiles know that there's someone else involved, and they're starting to disengage now. The damage is adding up. In these situations, you know, you have choices. You can support from range, or you can rush in with melee, or you can mount and close in. There's a lot of ways to contribute on the battlefield, and it's pretty dynamic. Unlike a lot of games, you kind of have to have all weapon types in your arsenal. You want to run around with at least one, you know, one-handed melee weapon with a shield. You also want to have all 3 damage types represented: slashing, piercing, and crushing. Each of those does damage, you know, at a more effective rate, shall we say, versus different armor types. So piercing is effective against medium, slashing is effective against light, and crushing against heavy, which is pretty standard. The game, as I said, it is an open world, so you can go anywhere in the map that you want. There is some fast travel with some limits. You also have mounts. You can go to any hotspot where you see a siege and contribute, or you can start something. You can actually siege something on your own, depending upon the resistance. So, you know, whether you're a solo player or a guild player, it is faction-based. There are 3 factions, so you can, you know, party up randomly or just assist with whatever's going on at a particular location. This guy, a little too low, unfortunately. Archer picked him off, which is something that happens. And I think here that we're going to get pushed off of this position. You'll have fights in the open field at certain points, you know, near the siege camp, near bridges, things of that nature, and of course at the fortifications themselves, the gates. Some fortifications have multiple gates, so you have to fight at the outer and then the inner. Also need to use siege equipment. It really is a very dynamic environment with which to play in. You can do so many different things. There's also, of course, PvE content. There's a lot of quests and dynamic events in the world. A lot of exploration to be done. The crafting system is very deep. In order to craft items, you need to unlock the recipes, and in some cases the recipes have to be acquired through looting, through PvE, or, you know, finding them in chests, etc. There's a marketplace, an auction house, a really healthy economy. You know, gear is lost through durability loss and through being looted in PvP. So if you're active, you will eventually have to place your gear. There's a number of gold sinks in the game. It really is a healthy system. You know, it was in early access for a very long time. So despite the fact that certain systems you know, are crude, even at this point, the overall gameplay loop and just the economy is quite strong. It's very solid and it works well. So I'm going to let this footage just play out. Yeah, I know it's a long video, but I wanted to give people a taste of what it actually looks like in terms of, you know, the respawning and the ebb and flow of the combat. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you consider playing the game. It was on sale for $10. For a while there, it's back up to 20, but it's a very cheap buy-in for a pretty solid experience. There aren't a lot of games in this game space, and it is something worthwhile. I think anyone who invests that money will get a return on investment and enjoy it. So thanks for watching as always. More content coming in this category, and take care.
Ah!